Welcome to Exleys on the NFL.
1, 2, 3, 4. What's up, guys? This is Exleys on the NFL. I'm Tony, and that way is Steve. We're going to jump straight into this week's what we think are top stories from around the week, and it has been one hell of a busy week. Obviously, we record after Sunday's games, and then you see it on Thursday. But Jordan Love is the Packers' Walter Payton Manning of the Year nominee. I think he deserves it. He does a lot in the Wisconsin community. He gives his hands for love. Gives cleats and football equipment to high schools around the Wisconsin area. He does a lot of other stuff, but that's his major thing that he does for underprivileged schools, for girls and boys, so they can take part in the sport as well. Gives new cleats, new gloves, new balls and stuff like that. I don't know who Philadelphia's is, do you?
Yeah, Jordan Mailata.
Makes sense.
He's quite big in the community, but he's also very big in the development of the international players and stuff.
Yeah, because he
goes to the academies and helps train the kids up and works out with them and stuff a lot. So he's quite big in that.
That's good. Trying to get more people through the IPP, I suppose. It makes sense.
Well, it's how he came into the league, isn't it? So it's kind of the best way you can give back.
Yes, it's help the next generation or the next lot of people coming through have a good start. I like it a lot.
Deshaun Watson has been announced. Well, it's been announced that he probably won't, but I highly doubt Deshaun Watson's going to play again this season. I can't see the point of him playing this season. I mean, we're week 14 just gone, so
yeah, we're going into week 15.
4 weeks of football left. They've only just got him back healthy, like after nearly a year.
Yeah,
two Achilles ruptures or some shit.
It's 2 seasons pretty much, isn't it? So probably a full season.
Yeah, he's missed, I think, an entire year. I'm sure it was like he could have, if they'd have made the playoffs, he could have played, but then he ruptured his Achilles again, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure they was doing a TikTok dance, wasn't it?
Something stupid like that, yeah. So he's essentially out for the season. There's no point in activating him off IR at all.
I personally wouldn't put him back in when you got Shedeur Sanders, and I know you say I'm on the Shedeur Sanders hype, but did you watch the Shedeur Sanders game, the Browns game?
I watched the highlights of the Brown game.
There was some poor play calling that caused the Browns to lose, I believe.
It was the defense as well, and the offense, defense. It was both sides of the ball weren't all playing properly.
He got them
Shedeur
back up.
had
though.
a good game. He had a good
got them
game.
back up.
But did you actually look at his stats though?
Yeah, it's good stats.
Yeah, it's average stats, same as any rookie QB.
54 passing yards, I think.
Yeah, his completion was 54.
That's still good for a Browns QB and a rookie, considering how bad the week before's O-line was.
He was better the week before, 64%. Yeah, but the problem was It's not. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm never saying he's bad. The whole thing with him came down to his attitude before the draft, and him and his dad getting involved, saying they weren't going to go to certain teams and stuff like that. That's what screwed everything up.
Yeah,
that's how his draft fell so low. But I do think, I mean, any of them are going to have a problem being a rookie with the Browns. Let's be honest. They haven't done anybody any favours.
Yeah, they done a 2-point conversion, 2 extra points, and they took him out and ran the ball.
I've seen that.
Why would you do that? Why would you take out the QB and put a running back in to take the snap when you're going to run it up the middle and everyone knows you're going to run it up the middle and just fuck yourselves up? That was poor play calling on Kevin Stefanski's part, I think. Hell, just whack my knee.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea was there. There was just a weird situation.
He brought it up to a tie game. It would have been a tied game if they'd got the 2 points, but they didn't. The Titans won that. That was their second win of the season. Rolling into week 15, they've got 2 wins so far, which baffles me how any team could be that bad.
The Giants?
Yes.
The Giants now have the number 1 pick, if I remember rightly.
And
it's like a 3-way battle between Giants, Titans, and I think Vegas.
And the Giants have had 3 QBs this season? Yeah, 3.
Yeah, 3. Browns are on their third or fourth.
Third. Who did they have first? Joe Flacco?
No, they didn't start with Flacco.
Who did they start with?
Did they start with Flacco? They traded Flacco away mid-season. He might have started the season for them.
Yeah, they had Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Alshon Sanders. Did
they put Kenny Pickett in at one point? I know they had him to start the season.
Maybe. Could be Kenny Pickett. Well,
I know he started the season there. They had 4 because they had 5 QBs on their roster at one point because they had Kenny Pickett as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They traded Kenny Pickett. Deshaun Watson's on IR. And then they traded Flacco halfway through the season.
Was it like October they traded him away?
Something like that. End of October, maybe.
Anyway, Ravens O-line.
Browns are a black hole.
Ravens O-line man Ben Cleveland suspended for 3 games for substance abuse policy violation following a DUI arrest this off-season. Plea deal, probation, healthy scratch. He's been sidelined. Substance abuse, and it didn't come out that it was PEDs, so what does that tell you he's been doing during his off-season? Indulging in a few cheeky party favours?
Well, I don't know if it's actually drugs or if it was just drunk driving, because DUI in America could mean a variety of things. Under influence, isn't it? Yeah, so I couldn't find out what it actually was that he was...
No, I've not.
Whether he was drunk driving or drug driving, but, I mean, if you're caught with DUI... it's going to lose you time in the league.
Yes, and that is not what the Ravens could do with this season. They're not doing as well as we'd like.
I don't think anyone's hoping for anything better from the Ravens at the moment, let's be honest. I think they're just looking to survive the season and then do some work in the off-season to get better. Same as the Chiefs, I think.
The Chiefs. How about them Chiefs?
2 of the big titans from last couple of seasons. I mean, I've read somewhere that this will be the first time in 10 years the AFC West will have a new division leader since like 2015, I think. So
that's crazy. They have been the dominant ones, haven't they? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I did see, who was it? I think it might have been someone like Colin Cowherd saying that a team's fall off doesn't just go off a cliff.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at last year, they were winning quite a few very close games, like a couple of point games, and they weren't, and we said last season they weren't looking like themselves, and this season that was how they started, and then they've just lost a lot more of those close games. They've lost a lot more still close games, but they're still losing more than they were winning.
Yeah. Well, we'll see next season how they come out the gate. Who are they going to be getting rid of? Who are they going to be picking in the draft?
I think Kelsey retires.
Yeah, I think he retires as well. When you look at the beginning of the season, he was toying with the idea, and that's how Jason done it as well, wasn't it? Toying with the idea, and then rolling into next season, it was I'm done. I
don't know who is going to come back for the Ravens. They'll keep Lamar. Mm-hmm. They'll keep Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
I think they could lose someone like Isaiah Likely. I could see him being released or traded or something end of the season. And I hate to say it, but they could lose someone like Mark Andrews as well.
Right now,
this lineman is, I think his career is going to be in jeopardy after this.
It could be. You are correct. I would say so. Speculation is all we have at the moment, isn't it?
We won't see till the off-season, will we? So
no.
Steelers and Mike Tomlin have... He's not getting fired. That's been announced already. But I think they're going to have to... I don't know if they're going to come to an agreement or they're seriously going to have to sit down and have a conversation, I think, about his future. The amount of times that he's got them to the playoffs, like the wildcard round or something, and they've just lost in the first round.
I know. It's a tough one because he makes all the play calls and blah, blah, blah. Is he to blame, or do you get rid of the GM for keeping the shit in the pot, if that makes sense?
Yeah, but I mean, how many times have we seen... like the person who's being publicly blamed for it, not necessarily by the facility, but being publicly blamed by the fans, get fired, and then it goes bad.
Yeah.
Jets and Giants.
I was just going to say the Jets. That happened to... oh my God. What is his name?
Robert Saleh.
Yeah. He got the blame for everything that happened at the Jets, and the Jets are still the Jets. The Jets are still nowhere near the playoffs, nowhere Giants near the fucking... Yeah. It isn't.
I think part of the problem with those two, though, is they've done both of them mid-season. Once you're already that low, you can't really recover your season. So
they always say shit rolls downhill, but it doesn't seem to. It seems to be coaching staff, head coach, a fucking GM. It rolls uphill in this sort of situation, doesn't it? It's really weird. I would try the other way. Get rid of the GM.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, the GM's usually higher powered, more respected by the owner or whatever, so they've usually brown-nosed them a bit more. So whether they can actually fire them is an entirely different matter. That's usually why the GM's still there.
It's strange, isn't it? Anyway, Darius Slay retires after being claimed by the Bills. Massive shock, one of the top corners of the past decade, calling it a career immediately after landing in Buffalo. He didn't want to go to Buffalo.
He didn't want to go. He didn't want to have to relocate his whole family again. I seen a clip from an interview he did, where he was talking about it, and he was saying that he didn't want to, because it's the middle of the season. He's just moved to his kids and everything are still in school and that. He's just moved everything for himself to go to one team. They then traded him, so he would then have to relocate everything again.
Yeah.
But he said that he got back home with his kids, was spending time with his kids. He was like going to their basketball games or something, and he was just really enjoying actually being able to be there for his family and stuff.
I think it gets to that point, doesn't it, where it's like, just keep moving around and relocating, and you get to spend time with your kids.
I think if he'd have been like 26, 28, I think he'd have just done it, would have been fine, would have gone straight into the facility and...
Yeah, we seen it coming though. We did say that we both thought he would retire.
Yeah.
It is. When you get to a point in your career, you've been playing for that long, you don't necessarily want to keep relocating. You don't want to keep ripping roots out of the fucking up for the kids and stuff like that.
Thing is, you don't even know how long you'll be there, because I think his contract was only a year.
That's the problem, isn't it? When you're like...
So, even if you did relocate... You might be there for a month.
Yeah.
If they don't make the playoffs. I mean, there's not much chance of not making the playoffs at the moment, but if they didn't, he'd be there for a month and then he'd be going back home.
Yeah, anyway.
So...
Eagles defensive tackle Jalen Carter, was he out Monday night? We've got it here that he was going to be out.
Yeah,
he had a procedure done. What was the procedure? What did he do?
I've not been able to find out. He had one on both shoulders. It wasn't surgery, I know that. He was on the sideline, so he was up and about and stuff, but he's been having some shoulder issue a lot this season.
It's another one, isn't it?
He's been not missing games, but he'd like have to miss snaps because his shoulders are playing up and he's having to get them checked and stuff.
Right. I feel very not with it today on the news. I don't know what's going on. I think it's late in the season now. There's been a lot of injuries.
Well, not only that, you think he's such a beast. He's almost like a new Aaron Donald or Myles Garrett. He's on the field all the time. Everybody concentrates on trying to stop him. So he's putting in a lot of work. So even when he's not making massive sacks, loads of tackles, whatever, he's being constantly worked.
Yeah.
And for that position and offensive linemen, their arms are very much their workhorse.
Weapons.
Yeah.
Should be licensed.
It's going to get worked, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah, you got.
So if you've got shoulder issues, you got to get them sorted. And apparently it was because he's had it done now, because it's not a long recovery time, and he wants to be ready for a playoff run.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
So he didn't want to get to the end of the season. His shoulders have got real bad, and he can't be there if we make a playoff run.
Yeah, well, the playoff picture I seen today. Packers are second, Rams are first, Eagles are third, as it stands today, I believe.
Yeah, well, unless we lose out to the Cowboys, we're still leading our division. We're still 2 games ahead of the Cowboys. So
yeah, and the Packers are leading the NFC. Beat the Bears. That was a good game.
So it's looking very good that we'll be in the playoffs. We just need to sort the fucking offense out.
Anyway, Mike Evans, a 100k streak on the line. Needs 172 yards per game over the final 5 games to hit 12 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. Currently tied with Jerry Rice at 11 games?
Yeah, 11 seasons.
Yeah, 11 seasons, sorry.
I'd like to see him do it.
Same.
If he has a couple of monster games, he could very well do it.
Smash it.
I think the biggest problem's going to be the opposition are going to be looking to cover him specifically.
Yeah, well, Myles Garrett had that in the Browns game, didn't he? They were triple teaming him.
Myles Garrett always has that, let's be honest. It's Myles Garrett.
Considering
You're going to try
he
and stop him.
5 more sacks to be the sack leader. and they were trying to triple team him and all sorts.
They do that every
guard,
game,
center.
though. That's what happens when you're... It was the same as Aaron Donald. If you're that good of a defensive player, they're going to do what they can to stop you and just try and hope everybody else can hold their own.
It does seem that they are doing it.
So I think that's going to be Mike's biggest problem, is they're going to put their best cornerbacks on him, maybe double cover him.
Just to stop
him. It's Mike Evans. He is a very good receiver. He always seems to find a way to get open.
He always finds that path.
He is on his 11th 1,000-yard season.
I hope he gets it. That would be fucking amazing. I really do hope
I'd like to see a new leader of it, let's be honest.
Yeah, Jerry Rice has been retired for a very long time now. But is it one of them records that should never be broken? That's
the thing. I think No, I don't think any record shouldn't be broken. I just think if you work hard enough, you should be able to. And he's one of them people that just seems to work hard every year.
Work hard, play hard. Mate, I don't know. I really do hope he gets through. So
do I.
Next.
This one's quite interesting. The NFL and NFLPA agree to new stadium surface model.
That's really good.
Yeah, they can pick from... It's going to be a list of pre-approved surfaces.
Mm-hmm.
Natural and synthetic. But I think the problem's going to be people are still going to pick the synthetic.
Yeah, it's cheaper upkeep, isn't it? But in that sense, it could help with the injuries that are happening.
Well, this is the thing.
Synthetic, because they could find some better stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if it means they've got new ones lined up. I couldn't find if the list of the pre-approved surfaces. That's the problem.
Probably not out yet. I wouldn't have said it was out yet.
So I don't know if it's just going to be pre-approved as in what's already in the stadiums, or if any of them are going to have to be dropped because they're no longer approved. I mean, the one at MetLife should be dropped for sure.
Yeah, that should be fucking dropped. How many people have torn an Achilles or blown an ACL, MCL and all that just on that one field?
It's ridiculous.
But
I think it's going to be interesting. But I think what I think's good about this is that the players are going to get a say in it as well.
Yeah. That is the main thing. They get to say, it's not just going to be Jerry Jones has said, right, this is going in my stadium, and fucking Bills are saying this is going in their stadium, and
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because at the end of the day, the people that make those sort of decisions, 9 times out of 10, I can bet they don't even play or have never played, so they've never known what it's like to go on the different surfaces.
Well, you know, Jerry Jones played, and the artificial ground probably wasn't out then. Do you know what I mean? It was natural fucking ground. It was mud and grass.
When did Jerry play?
60s or 70s in college.
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking 60 years ago.
Yeah, he's nearly
so
100
even
years
if
old.
synthetics were around, they would not have been very good compared to the stuff that is now.
See, I don't know how true it is, but pretty much I'm sure synthetic ground is just a concrete base and then that over the top of it.
Essentially, yes. That's what it is. From my understanding, from what I can find out, it's essentially just concrete. It's like, AstroTurf over here. It's essentially that.
Yeah, so it's just concrete, rubber, a bit of rubber, and then the artificial grass over the top of it.
Yeah. So, and I don't know about you, but I always hated AstroTurf.
Yeah, I played it on Astro not too long ago. It was not nice. You got like rubber chip-ins in it, and they get in your cleats, and fucking horrible. Anyway, Vikings open 21-day window for running back Ty Chandler. I have no idea who he is. I've
heard his name.
Here's one thing that's on the list. I didn't put this on here. Did you put this on here?
No, I definitely didn't.
Mate, I must have done this last week. The Vikings could use all the help they could get. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I think they're just...
Definitely. I think their biggest problem is their quarterback.
Yeah, they're number 9. They're bottom of the NFC North. They're not going to the playoffs.
They've won 5, I want to say 5 games?
Something like that.
Because I did see people taking the piss out of them because they got shut out, not this week, but the week before. So for week 13, they got shut out, and then this week, they shut a team out. Like, the irony of it was insane.
Who did they play this week?
Who did they play? Let's have a look. The Commanders. They beat the Commanders 31-0.
I watched Red Zone this week.
Before,
I only watched the Packers game and Red Zone.
They lost 26-0 to the Seahawks the week before. So, yeah, people have kind of been making fun of them a little bit.
The Seahawks are a team to lose to, that's for sure.
But they haven't been eliminated from playoffs yet on the NFL website. Same as the Bengals haven't, and the Bengals are 4-9.
Something not quite right there.
But I think it's because of how many games are left and who's next to them. They can't quite eliminate them yet, if I remember rightly. Because if we look at the NFC North, the Lions are only 8-5. The Vikings are 5-8. So in theory, they could overtake the Lions if they won every game and the Lions lost every game. But I mean, the likelihood of that is
because the Packers are 9-3-1, and the Bears are 9-4.
Yeah.
So
there is a chance they could move up in the division, but they would have to win every game.
That's going to be a hard feat.
But it's the same as the Bengals are 4-9, but the Ravens are only 6-7.
Okay, so they'd have to win.
They're not winning the division because I mean Pittsburgh is still in there at 7-6.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But of course, Pittsburgh and the Ravens would have to lose every game essentially for the Bengals to lead the division.
Not this season. A-Rod's on fire this season. He's doing so good this season. Can't believe it. Go from the Jets, where he done absolutely jack all, over to the Steelers, and it's like a new wave of Aaron Rodgers. It's a new Rodgers era. Fucking craziness. So Packers D-lineman Micah Parsons won Week 13 Way to Play award. He gets a $5,000 youth football equipment grant for the program of his choice. The Thanksgiving game against Detroit was unreal. I think he made Jared Goff see the underworld, the amount of times he helped get him sacked. But Jargens Schmargens. So we don't have anything on the trading block.
Not this week.
We can jump into contract signings and releases. I'm going to rapid fire through these. Vikings sign Jaquin Davis to the practice squad. Packers sign D-lineman Jordan Riley off the Giants practice squad, replaced a Wyatt replacement for the rest of the season. He was a 2023 7th round pick, so 243rd overall. Texans extend tight end Brevin Jordan to a 1-year contract, out with the ACL tear this season, but Houston clearly sees potential in him for their 2026 plans. And that is only 3 moves that have been made last week, so week 13 this is. And then we're jumping straight into the injuries. Some of these are for last week and the week before, and Steve's going to go straight in with that. So we're going straight into the injuries, and Steve's going to take that away. There's some stinky fucking injuries on this one. These are fucking horrible ones.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Ertz has torn his ACL. I mean, he didn't. I think by now everybody's seen the video. His knee went the wrong way.
Yeah, Jay Ward tackled him.
He got tackled. I mean, can you really call that a tackle? That was like a destruction of an ACL. That's how you speed run an ACL tear.
That was
even
horrible.
if you had a healthy knee, like just repaired or whatever, that's how you speed run an ACL. That was insane. Like his knee didn't go like that like normal people. It went like literally wrapped around the guy.
Yeah, it went the opposite way. That was fucking vile. That was horrible.
So wrong. It was so wrong. I saw that and I was like, oh shit.
That's the worst one I've seen, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong.
You see some injuries in the NFL, and some of them make you go, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones that's like, I don't want to keep watching that.
No, I seen the clip and I was like, no. Some I watched like a couple of times, but now it come on again on TikTok and I was like, no, not again. No, fuck that. I'm not watching that again. Same as Jaden Daniels' elbow one. No, fuck that. Can't watch that. That is fucking horrible.
Yeah, it was wrong. Colts QB Daniel Jones has torn his Achilles. It was a non-contact one though, the actual injury. I mean, something's injured it for it to go like that. Pulled it or something, and then he's planted his foot wrong and gone to push off or land on it wrong, and it's just torn.
Do you think, like, he has been playing outstanding, then he fractured his fibula, or fibia, one of the two, and now his Achilles, man. The guy can't catch a break. Yeah, it's just...
That was some bad luck.
Yeah, dude, them injuries in the space of however long, weeks, I think, and it fucking unlucky, man.
Trey Hendrickson's out for the season he's had core muscle surgery.
That's your abs, isn't it? Ooh.
Well, I don't think that's what he's had done, because he's apparently been out with hip issues. I was trying to research it since I've heard about it, but like I can't figure out what he's actually had done and where. Because what I could find out, he last week and maybe the week before, he's been out with dealing with hip issue. Now he's had this core muscle surgery.
Hips and everything are all connected.
Yeah,
obviously.
So I don't actually know what he's had done as such.
Strange.
All I can see
Yeah,
is
I've not.
core muscle surgery.
To be fair, I've not seen why. I didn't even know. Like, I just got the Trey Hendrickson out for the remainder of the season type.
I got a notification the other day
Notification.
he may be having surgery.
Huh.
But literally the next day, I think, was when it came up that he'd had the surgery. So
Must have been a big one. Good.
But he's out for at least 6 weeks.
That's to the end of the season.
That's
the end
the
of the
season
season
done for him. Yeah.
I couldn't decide on a game of the week as I watched Red Zone and just the Packers game. So for me, top game was Packers Bears game. Obviously a NFC North rivalry, and that was a hard fought game. That was rough. That was really rough. That was.
But I did on 2 or 3 of the other games. The announcers said that the Packers and Bears was looking like a great game.
It was really good. It was very hard fought on both sides of the ball. Very rough game.
It was just like a brutal slugfest.
It was a slugfest. Both sides of the ball. Caleb Williams is fucking a magician. I don't think he got sacked.
I don't remember seeing anything about sacks.
Don't think he got sacked. Last season, that man was the most sacked QB in the NFL, and I don't think he's been sacked in the last 5 games. He can get out of the pocket, and he's like running across the field and still slinging the ball. I don't care. The Bears, next season, I reckon the Bears could be strong Super Bowl contenders if they don't get it this season. I love the Packers.
Yeah, if the Bears do any improvements this offseason, they are going to be a dangerous team next year.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought game, both sides of the ball, and the Packers were the Packers for me. Micah Parsons lined up everywhere on the field, left, right. He even ran. He was not really covering Caleb and started running backwards. So it looked like he was dropping into a zone, which then let Rashawn Gary and someone else almost get him. Or did they sack him? I don't think he got sacked. But yeah, as my top game, I think everybody should take.
I also think Jordan Love threw a couple of good deep balls.
Massively.
To Christian Watson and who was the other one?
Devontae Witt?
No.
Mate, I watched it Sunday. It's friggin' Wednesday, I can't remember.
I can't remember his name. He did. Jordan Love played brilliantly.
Yes.
Who was that player? That's going to bug me. Hey.
Let me see. This one.
Who have they got? I know it wasn't Matthew Golden. It wasn't like the usual receivers.
Matthew Golden dropped the ball. When did we play them? What date was it? 7th of December. Oh, mate. Josh Jacobs got a rushing touchdown. Christian Watson got 2 touchdowns. Bo Melton.
Yeah.
This is the problem I have when we record like Tuesday, Wednesday, and I watch the game on Sunday. I've been to work.
Well, I
I've
think
been
it's
to sleep.
also...
And we watch so much
also
football, it's really hard sometimes.
The Packers don't have one specific receiver that's a star, or 2. I mean, you look at most teams around the league, they got 1 or 2 that are a star. I mean, the Bengals are the first ones to come to mind, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I couldn't tell you a single person on the Bengals receivers score.
Me neither. Just trying to see.
But the Packers have got, because you guys have been a bit injury plagued the last season or 2, you've taken on quite a few good receivers.
I know Caleb did get sacked. What did really fucking Tom Brady was announcing, and whoever the other guy was, Jordan Love's only had 3 interceptions this whole season. Next fucking throw, intercepted. What?
Yeah.
I'm sure that happened in one of the other games as well. Jordan Love's only had 2 interceptions this season, and he fucking lobs it and gets intercepted. You're like, why? Just stop, man. Just stop.
Jalen Hurts only had 2 before Monday night's game, and now he's got like 7.
That game wasn't good. That game wasn't good for the Eagles.
For defense, it was good, especially being without Jalen Carter. They sacked Herbert 7 times. And one was by our linebacker who ran through the running back again.
That was the Packers game. Defense was on the field for like 15 minutes, non-stop on one drive. Yeah. But that's my top game, and I do notice that your top game is not the Eagles game. Bengals, Bills.
No, the Bengals and Bills, mate. If you watch any game from last week, make it the Bengals Bills. If you people want to catch up on DAZN or whatever other streaming service you use, watch the Bengals Bills. Burrow and Allen. I mean,
I think
Allen was down by the fourth quarter.
Snow game, wasn't it?
A comeback. Yeah.
It's mad how quickly the game can just flip over on its head and be like the Bengals are up by 2 scores, and then all of a sudden the Bills are up. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It can happen so quick. All it takes is one play just to fuck up.
Well, I think the biggest thing was there was a defensive touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the guy's name, but one of the... I can't remember if he was an edge or lineman, but he came through so fast as Joe Burrow flicked it to try and get it to, I think it was either Higgins or Jamar Chase, on like a wheel route kind of thing. The lineman had come through, dipped it, and intercepted it and just ran. There was nobody there to stop him.
The Packers game, you just reminded me, Caleb threw a short cross. Well, no, it was a short out to one of his receivers. Couldn't tell you who it was. But as the ball was like just touching his hands maybe, or just about to go in his hands, bam, got taken down. Because he seen the defensive player on the Packers. I don't remember all their names all the time. He seen the ball leaving his hands. I just managed to tackle him just at that right time. The ball never even touched him, I don't think. It was so close. But because it was behind the line of scrimmage, it was... I can't remember what they said. It's like a free fucking tackle. It's not roughing the passer or pass interference because he's still behind the line of scrimmage. And what won the game for us was our interception in the end zone.
In the end zone, yeah.
Yes, but they... Go on.
Looking at the scores from the Bills and Bengals game, in the first quarter, Bills had 3 points, Bengals had 7. Second quarter, Bills had 8, Bengals had 14. Third quarter, Bills had 7, Bengals had nothing. Fourth quarter, the Bengals put up 13, the Bills put up 21.
That's a big turnaround, isn't it?
Fourth quarter.
They are up there with the best team that can come back in the fourth, though.
So, not only did they get the defensive touchdown, they must have got 2 offensive touchdowns as well.
That's fucking crazy, isn't it? Can you imagine that? Going from, shit, we're going to get knocked out.
I think the Bills could be... The Bills are going to be one of the dangerous teams, especially next season.
100%.
If they can sort out their receiver situation, they will be so dangerous next season. They could definitely lead themselves into the playoffs quite easily this year.
I'm pretty sure the Bills haven't won a Super Bowl either.
No, but there's not going to be Chiefs or the Ravens, by the look of it, at this rate, in the playoffs to face. So they could make a strong case for going up this year.
Let's wait and see. So, rumour mill. I don't know whether you've seen either of these 2 rumours, and they are just rumours that I've seen floating around. Justin Jefferson is apparently done with Minnesota. Sources say he's about had enough of the organisation. Teams expected to call are Giants, Patriots, Jets, Bengals. I would not say that the Giants or the Jets. He's not going to go to either of them, I wouldn't have said. If he was to leave the Vikings.
He's not going to the Bengals. Bengals aren't going to be interested. They've just signed Higgins and Chase. The stupid... Like, half their cap salary goes to... Half the Bengals' cap salary goes to Chase, Pickens, and Burrow.
If any, I would say maybe the Giants, maybe the Patriots.
I don't think Giants because next season they're going to get Malik Neighbours back.
Yeah, so maybe the Patriots. I wouldn't even go to the Jets. I don't even play, even if you offer me a big contract.
If you go to the Patriots or the Jets, what style receivers do they have? Exactly, there's my point. If you can't even think of any, if you went to the Patriots or the Jets, they're going to be looking at you to make plays.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Maybe.
But who knows? I don't know what his contract's like with Minnesota or anything, so I don't know if he'd be able to. I don't know. Of course, it's a rumour, so who even knows what's going to happen? It's just probably he's had enough this week of what their play call was. Or
same with Tyreek last season with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So George Pickens may not re-sign with the Dallas Cowboys. Prefers a landing spot where he doesn't have to share the ball. That's a quote that will cause drama. Don't quote me on it. I never said it.
I heard this one. I also heard, who was it? Someone in the Dallas organisations say he's not concerned with the rumour. He 100% believes that Pickens will re-sign.
I mean, the Cowboys have done fairly well this season so far. Not the worst team for a change. They're not terrible.
They're not terrible, but they've won 6 games.
Where were the Cowboys last season? You got to think of it like that. Now. Exactly.
They're about the same. They haven't improved. If I remember rightly, they haven't improved from where they were last season.
Pretty sure Dak was out last season as well for some of it.
He was out for a big part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But with him back and they haven't improved, I mean,
I wouldn't say
is
that
the problem.
Team?
No, they're not the worst team. They're, but they don't seem to have improved given that they've got Dak back healthy.
Yeah.
They've got CeeDee Lamb healthy, and they've brought on Pickens, and they brought in, who was that defense tackle they took? Kenny Clark?
From us, yeah, Kenny Clark.
Yeah. So they've made a couple of good moves, but they don't seem to have improved much. So I don't know if it's they've got other positional needs or what it is. But I definitely think keeping Pickens will help the organisation.
Yeah, 100%.
They need more than one receiver.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. The dream
They're dangerous.
Team. Yeah, they are.
They are a dangerous combination.
Yeah, which shocks me so much that the Cowboys haven't done more. I mean, they've done well, but they haven't done, like you said, masses. They haven't skyrocketed like you'd expect them to with 2 star receivers.
And their quarterback back.
Yeah.
And if I remember rightly, I saw something earlier, I think Dak is leading the league in passing.
Oh, yeah, I think he is. I couldn't tell you
check
what it is, though. Oh, my God. I'm tired, man.
NFL passing leaders. If he's not leading, I think he's one of the top 5.
He was leading at one point.
He is, yeah. 337 yards.
That's a lot of passing yards. That's a whole lot of passing yards. This is what I'm saying. I said at the beginning, earlier on in the season, Bears are doing well. Cowboys have been doing well. Jags have been doing well. Fucking Panthers have been doing well.
The leagues, you can't really say it's flipped on its head because there's still some teams at the top from last season. But there are some teams that were at the bottom last season that have made their way up.
The league has had a massive shake-up.
Yeah, and a couple that were at the top that are not necessarily at the bottom, but have dropped dramatically. The Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bengals, they were all playoff teams.
It's
edge
madness.
of playoffs. Now they're not even going to get close by the looks of it.
Craig David, crazy. Craig David. Anyway, moving on to Steve's Player of the Week. I didn't do one because I didn't want to pick a Packers player for the 5th week run-in. Actually, Caleb Williams. I'll just give it to Caleb Williams because I think he done outstanding in the game against the Packers. He did actually get sacked one time. Jordan Love got sacked one time. But I think for a Bears QB to have come so far from last season,
yeah,
I think it's like watching a totally different player. But yeah, that's my pick of the week, Caleb Williams.
So I was torn between 2. Ultimately, I put down Rashid Shaheed, 100-yard kickoff return.
I've seen that. That's crazy.
Just think about that. That's literally the length of the field.
Yeah.
In one run, in a matter of seconds.
It's crazy.
While running through all the other players on the field.
Traffic.
Yeah. It was insane to watch. But it was between him and, I hate to say it, but Justin Herbert.
What?
Well, he was sacked 7 times.
That is crazy.
After having an operation on his hand a week before.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he had this giant pad thing that they taped to his hand and shit. He was sacked 7 times, and he still led them to victory.
That's crazy, isn't it? It's unbelievable, some of the things these people can do, where he's had an operation a week ago, got sacked 7 times, still going to fucking beat you, though.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
To be fair, the Eagles game came down to an interception in the end.
In overtime, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the overtime. Now, if that hadn't happened and that pass had been completed, it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
But they took the victory. There's nothing more to it.
Yeah, yeah.
They won the game. Herbert played with I think it was a break in the back of his hand, like on this bone, I believe, and he'd had a plate and screws put in it or something.
Okay. Now.
And he had his whole hand taped, he had a glove on, then he had this, in the warm-ups and stuff, and before the game you saw it was like this big black pad on the back of his hand. But for the actual game, they taped his hand completely.
That wasn't his throwing hand, was it?
No, but he went down on that hand 2 or 3 times.
That, I will give you that. 3 players of the week this week, Rashid Shaheed, Caleb Williams, and Justin Herbert. That is savagery. Savagery. the better team won on that particular day. Is the way
they did. The offense wasn't firing on all cylinders. It's that simple. So I will give it to them. The Chargers played their asses off. Both defenses, though, were playing fucking outstanding.
Yeah.
The Chargers' defense was insane, and the Eagles played really well on defense again. That's been our main thing this season.
I was just going to say, your the Eagles' defense have played outstanding all season long. It's the offense that can't seem to get firing.
Yeah.
Well, they did.
If we could get the offense firing again, then we could get going. I think one of the big things is we need to run some more trick plays. Run some things to throw people off because we've become way too predictable.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know what it is with the Eagles, but they won the Super Bowl in 2017.
Yeah.
And then they won it last year. Do they need a few years break to be shit and then suddenly they'll become good again? I don't get it. What is it with the Eagles?
Well, I think part of the thing with finding our defensive footing this season is we lost 3 or 4 players because they got massive paydays. So their contract was up in free agency. And offense, I don't really know what's happened. I don't.
It's not that
most of our players are still there.
Yeah, so I think it's just the way it goes. You can't have it.
One of the things that has changed at the moment is Lane Johnson's out. Mm-hmm. He's out with a foot injury.
Big piece of the puzzle.
He's massive. He's like 6'5", 6'6",
mm-hmm.
and he's a right tackle. He's just an outstanding right tackle. He's one of the best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So you lose that, and that's gonna mess things up for your offense.
Yeah.
And I think they need to find themselves again.
Well, let's hope they find themselves sharpish, get themselves to the playoffs, and see if they can do a two-peat. A two-peat, yeah.
I think it is always hard, though, to go straight back to the Super Bowl, because you always have a shorter off-season.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? It is.
I think what the Chiefs done in what the people are calling their dynasty or whatever, is insane.
4-5 years back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, I think it was.
There's 3. I know there's the last 3 Super Bowls they've been to, and they've won 2 of them. Yeah. So that's fucking insane for a start.
It's craziness, isn't it? Considering how short your off-season is, you're only getting a couple of months, not like the ones that don't make it to the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah, you lose about 2 months of your off-season. So that's 2 months of getting yourself healed while everybody else is relaxing.
When you say it like that, it's a couple of months. But when there's no football, it feels like forever.
Yeah, when you're waiting to watch it, it feels like forever. But it doesn't for them because they're trying to recover their bodies. They're still doing things. Yeah. They're not just laid back on a beach the whole time.
We've been doing this for 2 full seasons now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
2 full seasons, 55 subscribers on YouTube. Come on, people, press that button. Subscribe!
But it's a whole different thing. To go straight back is very hard in this league. I mean, we've already said it. There's a couple of teams that have dropped from the season before and a few teams that have come up from the season before. So you never know what's going to happen once you get those new pieces into the team, because there's always new pieces.
Yes, every season.
People leave, get traded. There's always changes to your roster. So
yeah,
you got to figure out how everybody fits together.
Key piece of the puzzle. Right, that's it from me. How about you, my old chum, my old pedigree chum?
Yeah, I'm done.
Coolio, we will see you
another week
in, and we're so close to 100 episodes now. But anyway, don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe. We're on Instagram at Exleys NFL Podcast, on TikTok, Tony Exley, and we're on Spotify as well. We'll see you next week. Peace.
That's all from us. See you next week on Exleys on the NFL, and thanks for watching.
1, 2,